Hey everyone, it's Matron bringing you the second game of the first round matchup in the Scarlet Crusade Realm SC2 Tournament between Abyss and Wild. Wild again, random player spawning as Terran this time, Abyss as the purple Protoss. The map is Steps of War, and this is game 2. Wild took the first game on Metalopolis, playing a Zerg with a Hydra army. Abyss went for a little bit of Void Ray play, but ultimately did not have enough gateway units to take down the Hydra army of Wild. Wild was able to pick off a number of gateways and really limit the amount of army Abyss was able to warp in. So we'll see if this game plays out a little bit differently. Again, the rush distance on this map very short, so we may see more of a ground battle from both players. I was really surprised that we didn't see Mutalisks last game from Wild in those positions. Not sure what we'll see from him as Terran. Pretty standard supply depot and pylon. Looks like Abyss is going for a 10 gateway this time. Last game was a 12 gateway, so we may see some faster pressure. Last time went for a 2 gate, had Zealots streaming into Wild's base, but Wild was able to hold him off nicely. Looks like Abyss is going to do some initial harass here with this probe. It's going to take some damage, and this probe is going to go down to this SCV, so lost his scouting probe there. Not a good move. Need to run away with that probe, especially once its shields go down. Let the shields recharge, and then come right back in and do more harassment. Abyss just saw this one barracks, so no clue what kind of build Wild's going for. Didn't see this gas go up. So Abyss is going to throw down a quick cybernetic score as soon as the gateway is complete and start in on gas. So we're going to see warp tech a lot faster this game. No 2 gateway pressure. Abyss was able to see that cybernetic score, getting out 1 Marine, and we'll see if he tries to go for a factory first or an add-on for this barracks. Looks like the add-on is going to come. It's going to be a tech lab. Predict we will probably see Marauders. Marauders are great against Stalkers and the gateway units, so if Abyss tries to go for a 3 or 4 gate, Marauders are going to be very good, especially with concussive shell. Looks like Wild's getting up a second barracks. Abyss, good placement here, or a good spot for a proxy pylon. Going to be able to warp in on multiple levels, high, low, medium, ground, and this is going to be hidden from Wild for the majority of the game until he goes for that 3rd expansion. Out comes the Zealot and the Stalker. The Stalker should be able to take down this SCV quickly as it finishes, but Wild is going to be able to get the majority of his scouting information. Abyss is going to throw up a 2nd gateway, and it looks like Marauders coming out for Wild with that concussive shell research. A 3rd barracks going up. No 2nd gas yet. Looks like he's a little bit oversaturated on this 1st gas with 4 SCVs. And one just has to chill outside. Abyss has his gas going. Both players getting up a 2nd gas. Abyss going for 2 gate into robotics facility. So maybe bringing some Immortals on this initial push, or it could possibly tech up to Colossus. Colossus would be great against this Marine Marauder ball, and Immortals are great against Marauders. So if he goes for more of a Zealot Immortal mix, he could be able to take down this Marine Marauder defense quickly. Wild throwing up more supply depots in the front, and it looks like a 2nd tech lab, so going to be pushing out Marauders from these 2 barracks, and Marines 2 at a time from this reactor barracks. Abyss is going for a 3rd gateway, so you're off of 1 base, probably able to push out units from 3 gateways and a robotics facility pretty much non-stop. Like to see Abyss Chrono Boost out and Immortal here, but it looks like he needs to get up more pylons. He doesn't have any warping in at the moment. So it's really going to slow down his army production. He needs to get up a pylon or two. And he goes to Chrono Boost that Immortal and side-capped himself. So this is really going to throw a wrench into his plan of warping in units here. Just going to warp into one unit and needs to get a pylon up. He may think this Immortal's building, but it's not. And he just has this very small army. Wild is moving out, and Wild's army is possibly going to be able to take down Abyss's here. Looks like Abyss finally realized his side block, throws up 2 pylons, and this probe's going to get a rude welcome at the bottom of this ramp. Abyss needs to spring into action and does a great job. Good force field there. Is able to pick off 1 Marine. You'd like to see him force field a little more evenly there, and then back up, take out a little more army. The 1 Marine was great, but you can split this army in half and take it out with what he has going. So now he's going to push out this Immortal with a Chrono Boost. The sentries are going to be great for force fielding and to throw up that Guardian Shield against these ranged units. Wild supporting with more units. Looks like he's working off of 3 barracks and going for a Ghost Academy. So Abyss really jammed himself up without having enough pylons there. Looks like he's going to do it again. No pylon warping in. And we have an engagement here. Guardian Shield's going up from 2 of these sentries. Like to see him spread out a little bit more. These Immortals need to focus down the Marauders, which it looks like they're doing. Stalkers are going to be able to come in with the Immortal, take down the Marauders. And Abyss was able to recover nicely there from that snafu with the pylons. He needs to get up a few more pylons, give himself some wiggle room, and warping in units. He could possibly warp in some units here and do a counterattack. Wild doesn't have much army, just the 300 right now. So Abyss looking very strong. Needs to get his pylon situation fixed. Does not yet have a pylon going. But he could be warping in units right now. He's going to do so. So it's going to be a Stalker Immortal mix. Needs to get this Immortal out front, which it's going to do. It's going to be able to tank a lot of this damage. He needs to move up the ramp with these Stalkers, get sight here, focus down these Marauders best he can. He does have the Observer here, which is going to give his unit sight. He could possibly retreat here and still have sight. Out comes 1 Ghost. The Ghost is excellent against light. Not enough energy yet for the EMP round. Unless he gets the upgrade. Looks like it's not working yet, this Mobius reactor. Not going to be able to EMP right away with this Ghost. Again, Abyss pushing in with these Stalkers. Finally come the EMP from the Ghost. Ghost gains energy very quickly. And Abyss just did not have enough units there. Only 42 food on that attack. Need to get up probably in the 50 or 60 range to bust through the army and the output from these 3 barracks. So Wild does throw up a command center here. Abyss doesn't know about it yet, but he is getting up his own Nexus. So both players getting up a second base. Abyss